Hi, I'm Glenn Acosta, an engineer with the sanitation districts. I'm here at the construction site for the Clearwater project, where my colleague Russ Vicaria will be showing us the various parts of the tunnel boring machine. During this walkthrough of the tunnel boring machine, Russ will show you the front, which is the cutting head, and then work his way back to the articulating arm, that piece of the TBM that puts up the walls, and then go to the trailing gear, that 700-foot long part of the TBM that's like a mini city supporting the operation.
Around me are the pieces of the tunnel machine. Here's the cutter head, and this is what will actually do the digging. It's laying flat on its side right now, but it will be lifted and it will be placed on the front of that piece of the tunnel machine. Here you see some of the cutters that will actually cut the ground as the cutter head rotates completely. The blue pieces there are the motors that will drive the cutter head, which I just pointed to, and will turn it, and that's how the tunnel machine will actually dig forward. Here you have the erector arm, and this will pick up each of the tunnel segments, and it rotates and it erects them in the tunnel. And segments are erected in a circle, so you get a circular ring that's 5 feet long, and that's what the tunnel machine pushes against to move forward. Here you see 16 pairs of thrust jacks, and when they extend, they push off against segments that are erected in the tunnel, and that's what pushes the tunnel machine forward. On the far side is a lot of trailing gear that'll be pulled along behind the tunnel machine, and the entire machine together is about 780 feet long, which is about 2.5 football fields long, and we can walk over and take a look at some of the trailing gear. So here we have the trailing gear that's pulled along behind the tunnel machine, and it's over 700 feet long. You see up above the ventilation line, and that brings fresh air to those working in the tunnel. It's also got a lot of power cables and other fire life safety equipment, pumps and all that are dragged along behind the machine.
Our tunnel boring machine uses a water and clay or bentonite mixture to fill in the chamber behind the cutting head. This slurry is what the soil and rock mix in with. The slurry is then pumped towards the back, along the trailing gear, and eventually out of the shaft. The slurry from the TBM is pumped to this treatment facility where the soil and rock are removed and hauled off-site. The cleaned slurry is then pumped all the way down the shaft and to the front of the TBM where it's used again.